Welcome back. Running a marathon is a superhuman accomplishment.
But for those who know Kayleigh Williamson, they could have told you before she finished that she's superhuman. Her story is about putting one foot in front of the next, the steps she takes, touching the lives of others and inspiring us all to reach the finish line.
Kayleigh doesn't know how to give up on something. Unique, everything about her is unique. She changed me in a lot of ways.
For every step that Kayleigh Williamson takes, she touches far more than her treadmill. On this day, she's training in her South Austin garage for something far bigger than a race. Kayleigh is an endurance athlete.
We have done 14 half marathons. We want to do one in every state.
Who was written off from the beginning.
The moment she was born, I was told everything she couldn't do.
There you go.
Her mom, Sandy,
That's what I'm talking about.
takes us back to that day 31 years ago.
I was a junior in college. I worked as a waitress the weekend before she was born. Went to classes the day before. Did not know, not even when she was born. It was actually the next morning. They came in and said, well, we think there's a slight problem. The doctor said, we think she's slightly Down syndrome.
The obstacles and adversity for this family of two were just beginning.
We lived on welfare and donation until I graduated the next year. Her dad saw her once when she was born, never again, and that's his choice. In second grade, when the little girl walked up and the teacher stopped me and said, you know, little girl spat in your daughter's face, not because your daughter did anything, but because she was different.
A few years later came the health problems.
In 2008, Kayleigh was diagnosed with ITP, low blood platelets, and we didn't know why. Then she was diagnosed with hypothyroidism and then hyper. She was 215 pounds. She had sleep apnea. She was pre-diabetic.
It was around that time that Kayleigh's grandmother, Sandy's mom, suffered her second major stroke.
Kayleigh and Mom were very, very close.
Kayleigh's grandmother was diagnosed with vascular dementia and the possibility of Alzheimer's. Doctors recommended a lifestyle change to prolong her time.
And I remember coming home and looking in the mirror and thinking, you're a hypocrite. Look at the lifestyle you have your daughter in. I know the rate of Alzheimer's in individuals with Down syndrome. And there are some health crises that we're not going to have a choice and we're going to have to fight. But there's others that I don't have to open the door and invite it in.
Don't you snooze, you lose. I'm beating you.
So Sandy and Kayleigh began to take small steps.
Through the running and Weight Watchers, I started seeing the pounds come off of her.
Each step inspired by Grandma.
My grandma always told me that I am so proud of you.
Each step accompanied by Mom.
Told you I was beating you.
I don't want her to see me sitting on the sidelines saying, go, go, go. I want her to see me actively with her.
And each step monitored by her trainer at Run Lab Austin.
We just have to not take too many steps ahead of what she's been doing in the past.
Eventually, the steps turned into strolls.
Through the running, the Graves' disease went into remission.
And then to struts.
She doesn't have sleep apnea anymore.
And then to sprints.
Come on, Kayleigh, go! 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 Yes, flick the hair!
I just want to tell you that you changed my life.
In 2017, Kayleigh became the first person with Down syndrome to finish the Ascension Seat in Austin Half Marathon. She stepped up her game even more in 2022. Whose idea was the full marathon?
Kayleigh's.
And when she said that, what did you think?
Maybe she'll forget about it.
But Kayleigh not only remembered it, she ran toward it.
I am fast runner.
And for the past year and a half has been training for the finish line of 26.2.
How are you gonna dance?
And we're always doing that.
You gonna flick your hair? All
Put
right.
it here and do
Okay.
that. Victory dance.
You're gonna do a victory dance?
Sandy says that the journey will not be easy, and the 7 hours allotted for the race might not be enough.
If we don't meet the cutoff time, I'm okay with that. We know what it is to be last in line, and we know what it is to have the finish line shut down and picked up, but that's okay, it's her dream.
Good job.
I will still have a jacket that I've made for her that says Marathon Finisher on the back, and that's all she needs.
To help her get there, Sandy called upon two special guests.
I wanted to be there for her first full marathon.
Her former trainer, Shane, who now lives in Colorado.
She thinks he's going to FaceTime her, not come to the race.
This moment, the first time they've seen each other in 3 years.
Hi, Kayleigh. How are you? I surprise you? I'm running this tomorrow with you.
Later that day, Katie Field arrived in Austin.
I'm just a big fangirl who happens to be able to run a marathon.
And who happens to have a very personal connection to Kayleigh's story.
When she was the first woman with Down syndrome to finish the Austin Half Marathon in 2017, as a runner myself and a parent of someone with Down syndrome, all of my circle sent me the story.
This is Caroline. She is 9. Hi, how are you, Caroline? Good.
Somewhere along the way, we connected through social media and have stayed in touch ever since.
But this is the first time they're meeting in person. Katie and Caroline.
I can do anything. I'm strong. That's right. You can do anything. Yes, so strong. Right.
Driving in from Atlanta the day before the race.
We have stories to tell.
I want both of my daughters to meet Kayleigh and to meet Sandy and continue to learn about all they're doing for the community.
5 a.m. on race day. That community now giving back to Kayleigh as she approaches the start line.
With Shane here, with William here, with Katie here, she's got plenty of people. The goal is to make her mad at me, and she runs that way. That's what we do.
Have fun. We want you to be safe. We'll see you guys and gals at the finish line.
The finish line, the only thing I can think of is her hair flicking in the wind and her dancing.
7.
But our philosophy, walk it, crawl it, whatever you got to do, you just get to the finish line.
3, 2, 1. Ready?
We'll help you with your shoes.
Okay, we go.
They say a marathon is hundreds of miles. The last 26.2 are just the finish. For Kayleigh Williamson, a chance to inspire.
Oh, it's steady.
Because for every step that Kayleigh takes, she touches others.
That's kind of become our platform.
It's important messages for other individuals with Down syndrome to see that they can do hard things.
For every step represents defying expectations.
There we go, Kayleigh.
Exceeding limitations.
Mile 6.
I think it's also really important for the general public to hear these things, to do a better job of embracing differently abled people and to see their potential.
I know what it feels like to take what others think we can and cannot do to become the myths we believe about ourselves.
For every step, Kayleigh's inspired by what she's lost.
My grandma always told me that you're my sunshine.
For every step, she's grateful for what she's gained.
She gets really emotional when she knows that she's reaching other people.
Kayleigh's about a half mile away from finishing the marathon.
See you later.
She has a slew of support with her. She will be the first woman with Down syndrome to ever cross the finish line of the Austin Marathon.
My child has a legacy.
There are people that have come from out of state to run with Kayleigh today.
Every child has a legacy, but whether they get to live it or not.
But nobody did the running for her. She did it all herself.
That's what I see with Kayleigh, and that's what I see with this.
22 Ascension Seat Austin Marathon. Ladies and gentlemen, Kayleigh Williamson! And let the tears flow, guys and gals. That is awesome. 26.2 miles. Her mom, Sandy, rolled with her the entire way.
Good job. I think you want to give her that.
All right, eyes on me, Kayleigh. Smile, girl. Can you blow me a kiss?
Woo!
I'm so proud of you. You're a marathoner. You're a marathoner. Let me see the back of that jacket.
So in the days after the race, I texted Sandy, Kayleigh's mom, and asked her how Kayleigh was feeling. And she said both of them were sore, they were sunburned, they had a lot of blisters, but that pain was temporary for the memories that created that are going to now last them a lifetime. And I think she's inspired a lot of people in the process too. Her mom also telling me that Kayleigh's nonprofit that she had started a few years ago that the pandemic kind of brought to a halt, people have reached out about her continuing to start that. And so I just think that like the after effects of her having run a full marathon now are going to extend so much beyond just the impressive physical feat that it was.
For sure. I'm inspired. So much passion, so much drive. Congratulations. And you have to teach me those dance moves. What
Yeah, the hair flips.
the hair flips.
So you can get after it.
Oh, for sure. That was great, Jay. Thanks so much.